Now, a supermarket's launched an investigation into footage which appears to show poor treatment of hens at a farm in Bedfordshire. Campaign group Animal Justice Project says the footage shows poor conditions and neglect of hens at Sunny Farm, which supplies Lidl. Tayana Simons is a campaigner from Animal Justice Project, and she joins me on the line now. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Andy.
Thank you so much for joining us on the show. So what sort of size of farm is Sunny Farm, and how many chickens does it house?
Yeah, so Sunny Farm is a mega farm, what would count as a mega farm. So they house over 460,000 hens.
Wow, that is a big old farm. And tell us a little bit about your investigation. What did Animal Justice Project uncover then?
Yeah, so what we filmed inside Sunny Farm was really shocking. Things like we filmed dying hens trapped in cage mesh, struggling to breathe and being trodden on by other hens. Severe feather loss and sores in many of the hens, and dead bodies of hens left in cages for days or seemingly sometimes weeks, so kind of decomposed. They were stuck to the cage mesh. And we also filmed kind of eggs that were waiting collection, touching those dead bodies. We did have an undercover investigator in who filmed the abuse of hens by workers, including slamming them into cages, picking them up by wings and hitting them with shovels, and including a conversation where a worker mentioned that 300 hens had recently died of thirst due to the neglect of a worker. So it's a really tragic picture for such intelligent and sensitive animals that live there.
What prompted your investigation here?
So our investigations come from a range of kind of reasons. So sometimes it can be a tip-off by a local person. Sometimes it can be actually a report from someone that's worked in the farm themselves. I'm not aware of exactly what prompted this investigation. But yeah, those are kind of the reasons that we choose to investigate a farm.
The farm supplies Lidl. They are investigating. You must be pleased about that.
I would say that, of course, we appreciate that they are looking into it. What tends to happen within these cases is that they will look into it. They'll do an investigation. The farm will clean up their act, and then they'll kind of go back to business as usual. So, whilst it's good that they are investigating this at the moment, we don't have much hope that things will change long term for the animals.
We have a statement from Lidl which we will be reading out after I've finished chatting with your good self. But how important is it that consumers are aware of these type of conditions and neglect that these hens are suffering?
I think it's vitally important, really. I mean, we're all kind of fed this kind of propaganda that these animals live good lives and that there's high welfare on these farms. But I mean, Animal Justice Project has done dozens of investigations over the last 8 years, and we've exposed awful conditions and abuse of farms at every level of welfare. So from mega farms like this to small organic and family-run farms. And these are often farms that are assured with labels like Red Tractor, RSPCA, British Lion. But it really, time and time again, we prove it doesn't really make any difference to the animals there.
Are there any examples of farms with tens of thousands of chickens where they are being well treated?
I mean, we've not come across any, and we've done, as I say, dozens of investigations, and there's lots of other animal rights groups doing the same. So, I mean, I think when you are exploiting animals for money, then their well-being most often is not the priority.
Like I said, we do have a statement from Lidl and obviously a statement from the NFU. But what would you like to see happen off the back of this investigation that you've done? Well,
so firstly, we would like to see Lidl drop bird bros as a result of this investigation. And on a wider scale, we'd just like to have as many people as possible see our investigation findings in our video, which you can see on animaljusticeproject.com, just to see the kind of reality of what you're buying when you kind of buy animal products from supermarket shelves. It's not the marketing and the pictures and the happy lives of hens that you see, but actually this is how they live in these kind of horrendous, sheds, unable to fulfill their natural behaviours and spending kind of a short life of suffering, to be honest.
Really appreciate your time, and thank you very much for joining us on the show this morning. That was Tayana Simons, who's a campaigner from the Animal Justice Project. We do have a couple of statements to read out. The first one is from Lidl. What does it say, please?
Yeah, Lidl said, we take animal welfare incredibly seriously and we expect our suppliers to meet all recognised farm assurance standards, including the British Lion Code of Practice. On receiving the information, we immediately launched an investigation into Sunny Farm and we're working with third parties to undertake urgent audits to ensure that welfare standards are being met. They say we will not be taking any more products from this farm until this investigation has been concluded to our satisfaction.
And we also have a statement from the NFU.
Yes, the NFU say British farmers adhere to some of the highest animal health and welfare standards in the world, and farmers work closely with their vet to provide the best care possible for their animals. On British farms, animal health and welfare are based on legal and good practice standards, which are upheld by regulatory bodies such as the APHA and assurance schemes.
That was a statement from the National Farmers Union. We also contacted Bird Brothers Limited, who own the farm, for a statement.
And we've yet to hear back on that.
We'll keep you updated on this story as and when we get it. Time now to find out what's happening out there on the trains and on